Welcome back to the show. We got a great one lined up. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on X, YouTube, and digperspectives.com and in the Freedom Zone. And boy, are we going to get into it today. Tariffs, ladies and gentlemen, and some other information. I'm loving this Freedom Zone. Get all your daily videos with zero Google ads and extra content and almost nothing to get inside the group, and a great way to support the channel from censorship. Here it's Caleb and Brown. Get the best night's sleep out that you've ever had since you've been in crypto. How do I know? Because that's exactly what's happening to me. After 8 years in crypto, I found it. I found the solution I've been looking for. And what is it? It's institutional grade custody for retail folks like you and I. And let me tell you the big one. Human customer service. I know if you're in the traditional markets, you think to yourself, well, what big deal about that? Well, in crypto, you can't find it. So whether it's a technical issue with your account, you need to speak to a human, you could do it, or whether you want to speak to a prime broker about your market orders, or you're just concerned maybe of hacking or something. And listen, and they already have multiple layers of security on their platform. So this is the place to be, and you can open your account, get the best night's sleep ever. Go to XRPWealth589.com and you'll see for yourself. Open a free account today. Let's get going here. It's $3.57 trillion market cap for crypto. Now, the market's off 3.8%, but I think we all realize where we are in this moment. It is an incredible moment for the digital asset space. Bitcoin right now back down to 108,000 plus after experiencing a new all-time high yesterday. Ethereum 2,500 plus. XRP $2.36 in the number 4 spot. We're off 2.7 in the 24 and off 2.8 on the 7-day. Let's look at the range of price very quickly here. Ranging between 247 and 232. We'll keep an eye on it. And we have 6 days, 14 hours until the largest XRP conference in the world begins May 30th, May 31st. Get your tickets. They're flying off the shelf. There is only a handful of VIP now. It is critically close to selling out. Get your tickets if you're going to get them. Book your flight and room. Don't mess around. This is going to be a remarkable event. Now let's start right here. The latest. Texas Governor Greg Abbott posted an article about the strategic Bitcoin reserve movement on his X account. This potentially signals Abbott is preparing to sign the strategic Bitcoin reserve into law in their state now that it is passed through their state house and Senate there. So this is really starting to key up, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of other countries too. Meanwhile, coming back to the Genius Act, the Genius Act is being amended. Senate Democrats want to ban presidents from profiting off stablecoins like USD1. The bill aims to license issuers, enforce 100% reserves, and create U.S. stablecoin rules. Trump's WLFI, World Liberty Financial, ties triggered ethics concerns. You know, I have to say in this, well, you know, this is what happens when you get too far out in front of something. Look, I'm not going to push back on this. President Trump's doing a great job, but his kids getting involved here and getting out in front of the legislation has given the Democrats this to hold on to. And we already know where their mindset is. It's not good. Right? So look, I mean, what's harmful about this? They'll put something in, but you know what the sad thing is this is all political optics, because the reality is you're not going to stop them from doing anything. They'll put it in a trust. They'll have, a shell company or whatever. It's like, it's not going to be, this is political posturing, right? We don't like what Trump's doing, but they didn't have a problem when Nancy Pelosi making millions and millions of dollars. Just, I mean, absolutely just, rummaging through the coffers there. No problem with that, but problem with the Trump coin. I get it. You know what? Let's just put a blanket ban on it all. No people in Congress can invest in stocks while you're in that role. You have to be in a blind trust. It's very simple. but they don't want to get it done. They just want to grandstand politically. This is all going down. Let me give you just the first few seconds to this, because even though this is Senator Lummis, who just recently refused to meet with Brad Garlinghouse from Ripple, and she is the head of the Digital Asset Subcommittee, it smells bad from her. But she's right about what she says here.
Digital assets are the future, and it is our responsibility to ensure the United States continues to lead the way. The uncomfortable reality is that our payment system is outdated. Many of our financial rails date back to the 1970s and 80s, before the internet transformed how we live and work.
See, we were talking about a stablecoin bill, and then they always swing right into new financial rails. We need new financial rails. You know why? Because stablecoins don't float through the world. They run across new financial payment rails.
When a small business owner in Cheyenne uses a traditional payment system to send a payment to a supplier overseas, they face up to 10 days and 2 to 5% transaction fees. This isn't just inconvenient, it's a complete disadvantage to American businesses.
She's absolutely right on that point, no doubt about it. What's interesting to me is she won't meet with Brad Garlinghouse from Ripple, but XRP is a real answer in this conversation. It's lunacy that she won't meet with him, right? Now, we know about the ties to her son-in-law, who's a Bitcoin maxi, who absolutely says disparaging things about Ripple and XRP a lot on his account. Is that who her source of information to this digital asset space is from? You know, it's like, it's very troubling for her to be in such a role and to lack that embrace of the entire space. You know, we'll see what happens here. But that's why I said here, great idea on the point that I played for you from her. But here's another great idea. Stop ignoring top industry leaders on the space or in the space. You know, my phone has the worst spell correction I've ever come across. The top industry leaders in the space, just because they're not Bitcoin maxis like you and your son-in-law. You're the chair of the Digital Asset Committee. Lead responsibly or step down. It's pretty simple. And the reason I say that is because she describes this new financial payment rails for stablecoins. And look what's happening. The Euro P becomes first MiCA compliant Euro stablecoin integrated on the XRP Ledger. Well, don't forget about the others too now. Then we had this on the XRP Ledger. Braza Group new USDB stablecoin is launching on the XRP Ledger, giving individuals and institutions seamless and secure way to move value across the world and cross borders. With both USDB and the BB Real on the XRP Ledger, Braza's creating a scalable bridge. Absolutely they are. And then we know this too. Let me bring us in here.
Certainty to be able to lean into the blockchain and digital asset space. And so we've seen some really great innovative use cases on the back of that. So, you know, we partnered with SocGen Forge, you know, one of the leading banks here in France, firstly around custody, but now more broadly on issuing their Euro CV stablecoin on XRP Ledger. There are many other use cases that we're partnering, our customers are partnering with us on around money market funds and bringing those on chain. And we're actually seeing that trend continue to increase as we start to see more institutional interest in this space.
There you have it. You know, so we got the Euro CV, we got the Euro P, right? This is amazing. And then we got the Singapore stable coin. Remember that? Isn't that what the goal is? Aren't we watching them roll out the country stable coins, private issuance, or CBDCs? It's all coming. Is it? Am I crazy? I mean, are we? This looks like a rollout to me. This looks like a soft rollout. Isn't this the goal? To have a representation of all the world's money on the XRP Ledger so it can start using the DEX that's built in to start making markets like never before. And as we get legislation, the introduction and the adoption of real USD on the XRP Ledger as well will start to bridge into the financial world, the traditional legacy firms and systems. It's all about tokenizing the world and getting it onto the ledger, and more of that coming here in a second. Major U.S. banks, including JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Citigroup, and Wells Fargo, are exploring to issue a joint crypto stablecoin, per the Wall Street Journal. You know, there's an old saying that says, don't build the scale you need, buy it. Ripple and Real USD can help with this, JP Morgan, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Citigroup, and everyone else. Yeah, yes, they can. They certainly can. The world runs on the XRP ledger, folks. It is a multi-chain world. It is not one chain to rule them all. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is with the XRP ledger and interledger protocol, multiple chains can connect into the DEX of the XRP ledger. And now we've got a world set for a new digital economy. It is about all the money. All the money to me has never meant like all the pennies in the couch cushion. All the money means to me, it's all the possible pairings of value of the world. That's what that means to me. And that's where we're headed. Just like Ondo Finance, bringing OUSG to the XRP ledger. OUSG, institutional grade product backed by tokenized U.S. Treasuries, BlackRock's Biddle Fund on the XRP ledger. Are we not seeing this? By the way, let me break this down for everyone. Translation, tokenized U.S. bonds on the XRP ledger in conjunction with BlackRock means the U.S. debt is being tokenized on the XRP ledger as we speak right now. And you know what's interesting about that? I'll tell you what's interesting about that. Is that we know that we're tied into the DTCC, Ripple, Stellar, and other blockchains. What else do we know? That the SWIFT says that they're ready. We're ready for takeoff, in fact.
Excitement about the potential of this tokenized future. I've kind of said that we're in the digital asset space, we're kind of, to use a metaphor, ready for takeoff.
Yes. And we know that Ripple's working with them and Citi. And then we know that Ripple just bought Hidden Road. Right? And then Hidden Road just gets licensure to access a clearing system processing $11 trillion a day. But how are they going to clear and settle all that? I think they're going to need stablecoin. And XRPDRs, depository receipts, right? A security version for that to be used inside the DTC as well. This is what we're talking about. 11 trillion clearing. That's what Hidden Road just tapped into, the golden road. The 11 trillion daily and U.S. Treasury trades. Look at it. Look at it. And what is it Ondo's tokenizing again? Oh, that's right. U.S. Treasuries with BlackRock on the XRP ledger. Look, I tell you, for years, there were people inside our own camp trying to tell us that we weren't allowed to talk about exactly what's unfolding before our eyes right now. Those people are forever on the wrong side of history. They can't change it because they said this stupid stuff on the internet and they can't have it back. What they can do is show humility and acknowledge that they were wrong, and they were wrong in a big way, right? Now, talk about imminent, strap in. Oh boy. Listen to what Will from Crypto Insight UK's got to say here. This guy's TA is remarkable. Listen, he's excited.
Likelihood is, because of the bearish divergences, because of where Bitcoin is on the liquidity charts I've been showing you guys on X, because of what XRP looks like against Bitcoin, because of what XRP looks like against ETH, I think that the next leg up for alts is imminent, and the top could be in for Bitcoin dominance, and essentially just to strap in and get ready. It doesn't mean we can't correct, it doesn't mean Bitcoin can't correct, it doesn't mean that alts can't correct, but it does mean that I think that a move is just around the corner, if not imminent. Like, when I say around the corner, it could be days or it could be weeks, but it could be hours, genuinely. And I would love you to read the newsletter, because I talk about take profit plans, keeping your emotion in check, this sort of thing, because that is what I think we're about to hit that season in the market now, where everyone's going to get a little bit crazy. But yeah, I'm going to leave you there. I'm going to leave you with that. I think that's a bit of an exciting video. It's not really too much information. It's more of like a chat with you. I talked about wave format and wave structure for XRP, where I think we are and where I think we're going. I go into more detail, as I said in the newsletter. We're still looking good across the board for everything, really. That's why I think it just could be time. It really, really could be.
I tell you what, Will's fired up, and so is Greg Crypto here. Fibonacci circle in the surge, 1,700% increase in just 60 days. Ho. Say what now? He says, if history rhymes this time around, XRP could be approaching $27 within the next 63 days. But remember, securing profits along the way is always wise as we ride the wave. No doubt about it. Listen, I tell you, this is pretty inspiring right here. Listen, I love it because I don't need him to be right. I just need to look at that window that he's seeing. If he's seeing a 63-day window where something could pop off, look, charts are organic. They could change in an hour, right? In 10 minutes, they could change. But it gives us at least a window to pay attention to see if we are going to see the charts prove out from what they're showing today, because they could always show something else tomorrow. I love this for us. This is getting exciting, ladies and gentlemen. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. We're going into the freedom zone. I hope you will join us. It's going to be a good one. Come on in. All